fresh squeeze. Tangerine dreams, I'm sliding. Stocks up, dashboard digital, I'm gliding. Organic plates, salmon over quinoa. Keep it authentic, everything you see raw.
Welcome back, everybody, to CV Hustle. Today, we're super excited because we have a special collaboration episode with the hottest show in town, the new mindset of the Coachella Valley, and we have the founder, the creator, and the host of the show, Mr. Jose Esparza. Thanks for joining us today, man.
Thank you guys for having me. Excited to be here.
I know,
no, you guys won.
my little mini celebrity friend. I love it. So cool.
I've been watching you guys for a while. I really like CV Hustle.
Really?
Oh man,
Cool.
I think when I was first getting into the game, I was just like, these guys are gonna get up fast. I gotta do something. It's just so you guys are so cool in what you do, and obviously your progress has been
Thank
documented
you.
throughout your whole time. So you guys are amazing.
That's awesome. It all started with this guy over here. The brains and the beauty. My God.
Right.
So
The Beauty and the Beast. Huh?
I know it.
So you were so nice to take us out for some coffee to Everbloom. All right. Shout out to the little coffee shops out there. Very good. And so we got to know a little bit about you. So, but tell the viewers, how did you get out to the valley? Right? Because
That's a good question.
Got to bring that up, don't you? But you lived in
That's a good
LA,
question.
right?
Yes, I
You're
did.
LA native,
Okay.
right?
I did, yeah. I grew up in the city of Santa Fe Springs. It's a little known city off the 605. Before I moved here, I was living in Santa Monica, a place called Sea Castle Apartments. If you guys look it up, they're like there's these apartments right on the front of the beach, and any TV show that you've seen in Santa Monica has it in the background. It's just one of those places. It
Yeah,
looks
it's
wonderful.
iconic, huh?
It's so crazy, and I would watch like the pier and when the lights went up and down, they had concerts, and I just had like this. To me, it was crazy. I had the studio apartment that was 1,800, and I was like, that's insane prices. Back like 10, 12 years ago.
Why'd you leave that?
I was in a failed relationship. I was in this weird relationship, and this girl's family was out here celebrating something. I came with her, and I remember we got to Palm Springs. I'd never been to Palm Springs before. I've gone to Coachella Festival, but never to Palm Springs. So I we're in Palm Springs, and we go to this condo reservation place, and I thought, wow, it's really slow here. It's like super chill. Everybody seems to be nice. Like I like it. So I was like, let me pivot. I went looking for an apartment, and I got an apartment. Now it's called Modern Cactus. I don't remember what it was called
Yo,
before.
it's dirt cheap.
It's dirt cheap. It was. It was like I was like a studio was only $600 or something.
Wow,
Yeah.
that was a while ago. Then,
Yeah. Oh yeah, it was like 10, 12 years ago.
Yeah, that was a while ago.
And I was like, let me get a 1 bedroom. It's only like 1,100, and I thought, okay, done.
Still got money to spend.
Boom.
Yeah.
It's like,
Baller.
that was great. And that lasted as long as it lasted. That relationship failed and left, but I stayed in the valley. There was something about it. My whole family is out in LA and other areas, so I don't really have family here. It was just me. So I thought, let me use this moment to reinvent myself and just start from scratch. And I stayed. I just I just didn't know anybody, so I just kind of just did my thing. It felt free, to be honest with you. 'Cause I didn't have any ties. Anywhere you go that you have ties, it's a little harder because, like, I used to work in a hotel at the I forgot what it's called, the DoubleTree Hotel in the city of Industry. Great place, great location, but every guest that would come in, I would know they were like, high school friends or something.
Yeah.
It was really complicated because it's like, how do you ask them for tips? Like, or how do you
You go
how
like
do you
this.
how do you just like see the guy walk with like not his wife and like not it's like, oh dude, like it's so crazy, like you don't know what to do sometimes because it's just that city is so fast and moves really fast. So being out here and not knowing anybody was really like a relief, and it let me build me.
So broken heart brought you out here, huh? It's tale of many men.
Oh, many
So,
men.
That's a tale as
You're
old
gonna
as
end
time,
up,
man.
if you're listening and you're young, you're gonna end up back in the city. Don't worry about
Right.
it.
So what'd you see when you came out here? Because obviously you've been doing your show for a long time. It's kind of, kind of taken off in recent years. What did you see some opportunity out here in terms of like, hey, there's some opportunity for me to kind of build this new show and talk to like people and local entrepreneurs and stuff like that.
And it's funny when it came to the show, the new mindset of the Coachella Valley is the third iteration of an idea. The first version, I don't even remember what it's called. I had a radio show on AMP Radio, and AMP is Amazon Amazon's answer to live radio, and so anybody could have a live streaming of their favorite songs or what have you. It's
Hmm.
up to people to pick up the radio station. So like
Right.
maybe you're into. Funny enough, I thought you guys were connected to Jason Mraz for some reason.
Everybody does.
I,
Yeah.
Jason, call us. Maybe we are.
Nah,
that's
nah,
right.
nah,
Well,
nah.
hey, if I ever get him as a guest, I'll be like, go to CV Hustle.
There
Right.
you go.
But I just if you were to say, oh, this is the Mraz radio, for example,
Mhm.
people would either tune in or not. And so I just didn't know what I was doing. So I tried it with a few friends, and it just kind of, womp womp. It was really bad. The second iteration, I was like, okay, let me get into podcast, and I started doing the YouTube thing, where just kind of like, okay, let me see how it works. And some videos, I think some people are just so into it that you try to tell somebody how to start it at the stage that you're at, and you
Mhm.
forget where you started. So when I was watching YouTube, they'd be like, okay, well, now that I got my Shure mic on my Rode, the bass, I'm gonna grab my MacBook Pro, and it's like you don't think about it, but you're like, oh man, that's like $800, like $600, like that's $1,000 computer, and like you're just thinking, I'm never gonna be able to get any of that. I don't have money for that.
Hmm.
So what do I do? So I tried just like getting a cheapy camera from Timu and a cheapy stand, and I did my best to do like a solo blog, and it just kind of didn't go anywhere. And I called that Hey Bro, and it was really cool because I had my new pets. Um, and I was just like in my new home, and I thought, okay, well, I'm just gonna use my home as my studio, and it just kind of, I figured that could work, and it just kind of didn't. I just didn't really know what to do, so I gave up on it. I was done. I was like, yeah, forget it. I'm out. This isn't gonna work. A few years later, I met this guy, and he was like, oh, I work for NBC, and if you want to work for us or you want to work with us, you could help us by selling stories, and then we'll pay you for that. So I thought, okay, cool. So we're having a meeting about that, and then I'm leaving. I was like one step out the door, and he goes, "By the way, we have a studio downstairs that's made for podcasts, but we don't have a podcast. Would you like to start one?" And I was like, dude,
Third time's the charm,
Been down this road
baby.
I don't
before.
know, man. This isn't for me. I don't think it's for me. I'm in for other stuff. I've been on stage. I don't know. And he's like, okay, well, think about it. Let me know. And so I was leaving. I was going down the stairs, and I'm like, let me call this. I thought of this one person that once mentioned it a long time ago. So I'm calling her, and right as I'm about to call her, she calls me, and I'm like, oh. So I pick up, and I'm like, hey. And she's like, hey, do you want to start a podcast? I was like, what?
Oh my
Like that
god.
was her starting
Yeah.
sentence, right?
Alright.
I was like, that's
Did
weird.
the angel start singing?
Okay. All of a sudden, I just felt like I was going down each step, just thinking, okay, what is this going to be about? How do I do it? There's things I don't know. But now I had the NBC team behind me. So now
Ah,
I went
yeah.
to him and I said, hey, I do want to start a podcast. Like, guide me through it. And so, every place that's big, this is so crazy. Every chain that's huge has a startup version of what they do. Every big
That's
chain.
true. That is
And
true.
so NBC was like, hey, you have a phone? Does it record? Does it got a picture? Start with just audio. That was the first rule. Just do audio. If you can do audio and you can commit once a week, you'll be on good track. And I said, okay. They're like, get a Buzzsprout account. I said, okay, get a Buzzsprout account. And that's it. That's all they gave me. So then I was like, okay, well now I know it can be on the cheap. I know I can
Totally.
get things started on free. And I know I know a lot of friends that I'd like to just talk to and find out what their story is.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the first bit of it. I just reached out to a friend of mine who's a large influencer who just had her and her husband's ribbon cutting. Her name is Itzel Bautista, and I asked her, "Hey, would you like to be my first episode?" And she was like, "Yeah." So, with her in mind and the people that were surrounding me, I just kind of locked myself in a room, and I was like, "Okay, what's the name of it? What does it look like? What am I gonna ask? What's the feel?" But now I had like a studio.
Yeah.
So when I say I locked myself in a room, I locked myself in a studio with lights, cameras, and all this stuff, and I was just letting the juices flow, and that's where it happened. I hit a, I mean, I've never told this story, but I accidentally hit a
Button.
button that a shutter was connected to, and the shutter started cycling through a bunch of colors, and the colors just kind of started hitting the wall, and the wall was white, and as I was doing it, I was like, that's to me that's what the Coachella Valley is. It's just a bunch of colors. Like no matter where you go, if you're in Palm Springs, you get hit with everything Palm Springs is. Palm Desert's completely different. Indian
Right.
Wells is different. La Quinta is different. You go to Coachella, Indio. They're all so different and unique, and there's just different tastes and different colors. And I was like, that's it. I think I want this to be a type of mindset And I was like, it's a type of like mindset in the Coachella Valley. And I was like, oh, it's maybe a new mindset. And that was
Wow.
the title. That's how it happened. And if you guys get a chance to see the title card now, the first one was a really hard back, black and purple, because that was the back of that wall when I was seeing the lights.
Yeah.
And then I thought, oh, that looks really cool. And the new iteration is a little more closer to that idea. It's stage lights on the back and the sign in front, but the new mindset is always in colors. And I've kept it that way. And that's why. The Coachella Valley is just white in the bottom because I want people to think the Coachella Valley is just a canvas. You can use the colors from the mindset and paint it however you want. So
Totally.
that was my thought behind it. And that's what I've kept this whole time.
Got a little artist side to you. I like that. Hey,
No, I
let's
mean
get-
your graphics are legit. Like when I first came across your show, I was like, we were just starting this one. I was like, I want to look like that. You know, like
Oh,
we
wow.
we wanted
Yeah.
to kind of steal.
Oh,
I didn't want
wow.
to steal your look, but I
Steal it.
wanted to like because your graphics do pop.
Thank
Your logo pops. Like it looks good. It looks like you paid somebody a lot of money to make that thing up. So
Canva, and it was free.
wow,
Oh my
And-
God.
you just did that on Canva.
The
first
letters,
iteration.
the
Wow.
letters were a creation of somebody called Dr. Geigel, I think, and I followed him from a long time ago. And when I saw his art was on Canva, I thought, oh, he's got to have letters, and it was on there. And those letters are amazing. But then he fell out. It's almost like he put all his art there, and then I don't know where he is. So if you're listening, thank you. Like, that's honestly, like, it was perfect. I just knew that's the art I wanted. And again, I'm telling you this because I think you guys and I are pretty much the same in this thought. I don't like gatekeeping. If you guys want to start a podcast, start it.
Yeah.
Right.
Your content is what's going to separate you from someone else.
Yeah.
Because our podcast may be similar but not the same.
No.
And someone else's will be similar and not the same. I love watching Blitz. Blitz is one of my favorite things to watch now.
Yeah.
I only got turned to it maybe whenever I first reached out, like
Yeah.
2-3 weeks ago. But now I'm like, oh, I wonder if they went to the La Quinta one. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I'm excited to see that because it's just the content that I'll never create. It's just your
Well, you
own.
know what's so funny is like I like football ever since we've been together. It's football, right? That's our life. But I like watching the show, even though I'm not like this big, like oh we got to go to every game. But it's cool to learn about the coaches and just that how that all comes
Get all
together.
the background stories.
Yeah,
yeah.
so you got that passion
It's
behind
a
you too.
community-based show, so that's why if you're in the community, even if you don't care about who wins the game, you want to
Yeah.
hear about who's leading your teams and who's leading the youth, and that's kind of the
And
focus
see
of the
that
show.
essence of that podcast. Again, it's just something no one's gonna be able to recreate. Whether it's
Well, and you've
that
got
juice or
those,
something.
yeah, because you've got those different personalities, right? Like to me, I always think about this with business, right? Like people, oh, have you heard about that tile showroom or that tile showroom? And I'm like, who cares, right? Like they can't duplicate me.
Mhm.
Right.
I can't
100%.
duplicate them. Like you
Right.
walk into my showroom's beautiful. You walk into their showroom, so like that'll speak for itself.
Yeah,
So it's the
the
same thing
content,
with this. So I
100%.
totally get you.
Yeah, your content will always speak volumes of you because you're gonna make the content what you want the content to be. So it's and everything is borrowed and shared. We all podcasts share similar things: how much time we recorded with, what type of mics we might or might not use, if there's a team behind it or not. I mean, we all have the same similar aspects. Some of us have the same teams, as far
Right.
as I know. There's some people that are
Right.
just kind of like I shoot your podcast this day, but then I go Wednesday over here. And
Yeah.
like that happens, and that's fine. And it's more about the content that you're gonna put out is content that people either love or hate. And just learn to ride that wave.
Right.
That's the important part.
Well, I think it's like it's sales, right? You have to learn how to deal with every personality that walks through the door, and and you have to like connect. So that's why I like this show is because I like to delve deeper and I like to,
Yes,
I want to know that person and this is how you kind of get to do it.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
And
So-
every entrepreneur has a story, and that's what we're trying to dig out.
That's good. That's good. I know you guys are aching to ask more deeper questions. Hit me with it because we're sitting there sharing stories, but like
Okay.
I have so many stories.
okay, are you in love now?
Oh my
Oh no,
God.
I'm a lover, not a fighter.
Oh,
Remember I told you I
God.
like
Yeah,
to
right.
matchmake?
That's good.
I
I love that. Yeah, you like to matchmake.
Boom, hit you from the side.
Who were you thinking of? Who are you matchmaking with? Tell me about that.
There we go.
I don't know if there's anybody that would
That's awesome.
step
I
up
love
to you.
that.
Bam.
I love that. That's good.
Okay.
Uh
Bobby's like,
well-
no. Let's move along.
As I moved through the desert, I fell in and fell out of love and just continue moving forward. I think I fell more in love with myself. I realized that I definitely have to no matter who I'm with, where I'm at, and what I'm doing, I've learned that I have to support myself first. Because if I don't support myself, I can support someone else, and it's just important. And I learned the hard way that I gotta take care of myself. I'm overweight right now. I'm trying to work on it. I'm cutting down on the sweets and trying not to party as much. Of course, I went out party last year.
But it was your birthday.
But
Sure,
okay,
yeah,
That's a
sure.
good reason,
there's
right?
Birthday
reasons.
week, so you
But
got an
it's
excuse.
like every person that is with you, I want to give to a relationship, not take from a relationship. I want the same from that other person.
Sure.
So it's a complicated, it's a hard. Yeah, I think everything's complicated and hard. Is there someone there or not? I think right now I'm just like experiencing how to grow in what I have, and I focus so much that I'm like tunnel visioned right now. So
Mm, yeah.
uh,
So,
I'll
ladies,
leave
he's
that open.
available. Uh,
You didn't listen to what he
Oh
said
my
though.
goodness.
He's tunnel vision right
Oh,
now.
I
So
don't know what that
he's
means for
doing the
him.
Kobe thing, man. Just
Everything else
ultra
is
focused on your goal,
key
and everything
there.
else is collateral
It's just
damage in
right
life. If
there.
it you destroy everything else, so be it. Because I got to get to my goal. So
Correct.
sometimes you got
Correct.
to do that. There's
Do you,
times in life where that's necessary to do, and I think you're kind of in that point, with your show. Kind of back to the show though. I want to talk to you about. So you've been doing it a long time. I mean, you have almost over 70 episodes. So you've been in this game a long
The
wow.
time,
ones,
man.
the ones that are out, yes.
Yeah, I see there's
It's
some that didn't
so
even
many
hit the
more.
market yet,
Yeah.
right? So,
Yeah.
so what was the kind of like the mindset, right? What was the philosophy behind it? When you first started? Obviously, it's probably changed to now. But what was kind of the philosophy? What do you want to talk about in those initial episodes?
When I first started, I wanted to okay, so my first idea was I want to hear a person's story but make it fun. So I would kind of hear what they were talking about, and then I would interject like some type of comment that made it funnier, right? Like, oh,
Mm,
I used to do tile work. I'm like,
Yeah.
did you ever tile work in like a sex club or something? Like, so, like it
trying
was
to throw a
Yes, that's
curveball in
right,
there.
just
Yeah.
something to just maybe people get and I mean within boundaries and reasons, it was never crude or anything, but it just didn't quite land. And it was two hosts. It was myself and the friend that I had originally
Hmm.
started with. And the energy was just not flowing. There's a lot of ideas that were kind of coming in and coming out. But something I always wanted to keep was I would ask an entrepreneur or a business mindset individual, because it was supposed to be just for business entrepreneurs, what what books do you read, or what type of literature are you into, or like how do you become successful through your learning, right? Because you would think that every business owner would sit and read some type of book, but then obviously that's just not the case,
Hmm.
right? Hardly ever does anybody go like, oh yeah, I read Mockingbird and that did it. It's like that's not how it works. And it just was an idea that never really stuck, and I thought, okay, well, some people are holding on to it. I don't like it. Why am I waiting on someone to change their mind, like moving forward? And so that moving forward led to multiple teams, multiple people in and out, multiple everything. So it was just like, let me take a step and just do it how I want to do it, so that I know that I love what I'm doing. And once I did that, I was the sauce. I
well,
think the sauce was,
yeah, it just flows,
yeah,
right? Because you got to be true to yourself, like you've been
yeah.
saying, and you just gotta. Who cares what everybody
Mhm,
else thinks, and you just
mhm.
move ahead.
And
So,
it changed. Can't pinpoint one exact one, but there was a point where it all shifted just to like what it is today. It's just a conversation.
Yeah.
It's so much better.
do you go out on sets and things like that, or do you have them come in at the same place?
So when it's the audio one, I'm at the point now where I could do it kind of like a radio show where you can even call in if you want to,
Oh,
and
really?
it's a lot
Okay.
better for me too, because then it could be at their time. It doesn't have to be on
You
my
could be
time.
in your pajamas right there.
A
That's why.
hundred percent. It could be.
Exactly.
I had an episode. I think I told you guys. I shared that when we met that morning. I had a. Oh no, 3 weeks ago. I got an email from somebody who was also Morass, and I thought it was you guys.
Oh
Oh,
yeah, that's
that's just
right.
a
And it
That's
was
right.
crazy
That was a
story.
weird
yeah.
one.
So I
Yeah.
got this email, and it's saying like, "Hey, so we're all set to meet up 6 a.m. and here's the information." They sent me like a Google calendar. I'm like, "Okay, cool." And I just kind of booked it. I said yes. I closed off everything else. I was like, "Hey guys, I need to do this. Don't call me. Don't bother me." It's
Right.
like
Right.
super early. It's like 6 a.m. Like we're good. And then I noticed a few days before, I was like, "Oh, it's weird that I don't have like an address. Let me check." And I saw it, and it said that it was a Google Meet. And I thought, "Oh, I thought we were meeting in person. Okay, cool. Everybody does their show different." So then now I got up real early. It's like 4 a.m. I got up, and I'm like, okay, I'm thinking like, what am I gonna say? And I turn on the computer, and I make this my background look as cool as I could.
Right.
And then I'm like, all right, whatever happens, it is what it is. And so this guy comes on. I'm like, I've never seen him before. That's kind of weird.
Did they get a new
And
host or something?
yeah, and I was like, okay, all right. And he starts talking with this like accent, and he's like, "Hey, my friend, how you doing?"
Oh,
I'm like,
okay.
"I'm good, I'm
Who
good.
is
How are
this?
you?" And he's like, "So I wanted to talk to you about podcast SEO." And I'm like, "Okay, tell me about podcast SEO." In
SEO
my head, I'm
podcast? Oh
thinking
shit.
it's like part of the show, and they're like trying to tell me how it's a new version of how something's gonna work. And
Oh
he's like
my.
showing me this program and how
Oh
you
my
can
god.
read. Like, is this cool program actually that I ended up buying, to be honest with
I mean, it
you.
worked then,
It
right? It
works.
worked
It's real.
then.
I can't wait to show
ABC.
you guys.
Yeah, you need
Always
to.
It's
be
Okay.
closing.
amazing. And then I'm done. I'm like, okay, so when are we doing the podcast episode? And the guy's like, what podcast episode? I'm like,
Oh my
aren't I
gosh.
doing something with it? And then we're talking, and he's like, well, I'm from New Zealand, and I do this, and I do this, and I do this. I'm like, well, hold on, stop. So what I did is I started audio recording only, and I was like, let me just do your podcast episode. And so him and I talked for a whole nother 40 minutes. And it's a great story. He's got a fantastic story, this guy. And I'm like, okay, cool. What's your name? And he's like, Angie Marez, Marez. And I'm like, okay,
Oh,
cool. Well, thank you for letting
damn.
me know, and I'll let you know when the podcast is out, and that's it. And then I reached out to Robert. I'm like, hey, dude, something weird happened. Like, what's going on over
I'm
here?
like, that wasn't us, man. We don't sell. We
That's
don't sell
so
SEO.
weird. That's so weird.
Our cousin does though.
Yeah, our cousin does,
Yeah.
but
Well, I'll tell you, that was a great episode. But like, what I'm trying to say is, if you can be in another continent and you can speak a whole nother language, I can still do the episode because I can now live translate, and so I don't need to be sitting across from you. But when it's the video podcast, there's a few ways that I do it that I think matter. So originally there was a studio, and actually NBC has told me many times, just shoot at the studio. And like, yeah, I don't want to do that because the podcast, my idea was never to be this network thing. I always wanted it to be a TV show, but I wanted a TV show on my terms. And my terms are I want to interview. I want everybody to feel like they can be on my show. I don't want you to think that, oh, it's too big for me. Like, no, like you could be the guy that there's a really cool food taco truck next to Isla Mujeres in Indio. And I love those guys. And every time I see them, they're always like, hey, primo, how you doing? But I don't know them. So they're always treating people really nice and really great. And I see them hustle every freaking day. Like they're out there just in the heat. Like they're killing it. And I asked the guy, like, hey, you guys want to be on an episode? And recently they were like, yeah, we have time to do that. Let's do it. And I want that feeling that people could just do it. And instead of shooting in a studio, I'm gonna set up the chairs in front of their taco stand, whether people are buying or not. Like I want your business to shine. If I'm gonna give you 30 minutes to talk, let me give your business 30 minutes to shine. So that you can also be featured and you can use that however you want. You want the video for you so you can put it on something great. You want stills, you want behind the scenes, do whatever you want. We're not gonna gatekeep or hold anything from anyone. And so that mindset is why a lot of businesses have opened their doors to me. And I mean everywhere. Recently, I shot at the Ramona Bowl. I don't know if you guys have ever been to Hemet, but there's this thing called the Ramona Bowl, and they have a show every year called the Ramona Play, and it's the only outdoor theater in California, in Southern California, and it's huge. It says like 2,700 people, 27,000 people. I'm sorry, and it's really big, and it's a live play that happens out in the open. Like there's just these two mountains, and it's a great play. They're celebrating their 103rd anniversary of that amphitheater, and when I came to them, they're like, "Yeah, come shoot here," and I shot there, and it was just beautiful. And they don't really get that recognition, and they don't really get those shout outs, and they have to pay thousands of dollars to be on one commercial. And like I gave them each, like I did 3 episodes. I'm gonna do three more, 3 episodes with celebrities or guests that I wanted to be somewhere like that. That then maybe they don't have their own business, so I brought them there. And I want to do three more for them, just to their board members or their city managers or the city leaders. And they were like, "Yeah, perfect. Let's shoot it." And it's a beautiful place. And that's the same anywhere. If you, we did an episode with the guys that play at Victoria's in India, and I know the owner, and he was great. And I want to make sure I shot with Victoria's in the background because I love eating there. And I can do that for pretty much anyone. We can
Yeah.
take the show and place it
But
where
what
you
about
want.
the audio? I mean, you just have to have a really good microphone. Like, I mean, when you're putting it under your shirt and you're doing all that, right? It just
We have two versions. There is the one that's a Rode that I don't remember what the cost is. I think it's like a $300. No, it's like $120 mic set, and it connects right to the camera. And what it is really is the program. Once we put it in to edit, the program can do a lot of the audio cancellation. So if you can't afford the mics and all you use is your phone, you want to have two phones. One that kind of hits your audio real close, you might want to hide it behind you, and then one that just shoots in case something misses. But for the most part, I use this is so weird. I'm gonna tell you. December of 2024, I found these mics on special. It was just JBL mics that were like $12 on Amazon, and I bought them and I did an Amazon review that's somewhere on Instagram. I can remember where, and I use those still today, and they're like the best quality mics. They plug right into an iPhone 13 and below, and they're perfect. They record amazing, and the um, audio cancel is just that. So I got lucky and just looked and browsed and saw the best ones, and it was only $12, and we still use those, and they're great, and I love them. So yeah, it's on a budget. You could do a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I think that's what I like about your show is you're kind of like in the field, man. Like we come in here, we're in a studio, we got a great producer, makes us look better than we really are. You were out there, man, like gonzo journalism, man, just out there with a mic and just talking to
Yeah,
people, and that's kind of awesome because it's an authentic thing, man. It's like you can't really recreate that. It's just you're having a conversation that's just being recorded and not overly produced, and I think that's kind of the secret sauce as well. At least for me, I find it really entertaining.
I
So.
appreciate that.
Um, you've done a lot of episodes,
Hmm.
like over what do you say over
70.
it's about 70 released, but you said there's probably
Right.
more closer to 100 or something like that.
If not
It's a
more,
lot,
yeah.
right? Does any episodes stick out to you that you
Oh
remember? You got
man,
any stories? I know you got some good stories about some weird
there's
episodes. Have you done that many, man? You gotta have some. You don't have to
yeah,
name names,
yeah.
but I'm sure there's some weird ones in there too,
There's
right?
one of the episodes I always send people to kind of listen to is called uh, "What's a McCormick" with Cody McCormick. A lot of people know Cody, some people may not, but everybody knows Zelda's.
Yeah,
So if you guys have heard of
Zelda's.
Zelda's,
Everybody knows Zelda's.
the original
Oh
owners,
my God.
the original owners were the McCormicks, and uh, they are well known in the valley. Mike McCormick is just this incredible guy that had a vision, and he put it, and boom, he created the original back in the '80s. And as time went on, everybody knows that you went from the old location to the Zeldas that was at the end of the strip in Palm Springs,
Yeah.
and everybody used to go there, and anybody that didn't go there wouldn't know where to go other than wherever else on the strip. So
Yeah.
I remember when I first met Cody, and I don't know if you'll ever share this, but him and I both share this with other people when we meet. But the first time I met Cody, somebody said, "Oh, that's Cody McCormick. He's the owner's son. He does drinks. Like you should do an episode on him." And I was like, "He does drinks." Okay. So I went in, and Cody has this energy. He can like flip a barrel on its head,
Yeah.
and he's insane. He's just this guy with this energy. And I met him. I introduced myself to him, and since that moment, him and I had a click. We became friends for some reason. He was doing something with a drink, and I was like,
So you've been drunk ever since?
I've been drunk ever since. Well, one time, I asked them if they ever wanted to throw like a really big party, and they were like, "Sure, what do you got in mind?" And at the time, I was still able to kind of grab people from LA and other places, do a third party. So we did a big event there. They used to have those stripper poles in the
Oh yeah.
side of the building. I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
if you were never there, let me tell you, Zelda's was known for a lot of stuff, and a lot of those were just like, who's gonna be there? What are they gonna do with this
Those were
or
some of the
that?
best times of my life.
It was crazy.
Gosh.
Love Zelda, super over the top.
Zelda's.
I mean, there were times, right, when they did the foam parties and everybody would slip. Oh god, dude,
I
it was
would go for the
insane.
male strippers on Thursday
Oh
nights.
God.
There you
See,
go.
there you go.
Uh,
See, that's what
those
I'm
like
talking about.
navy uniforms or
Yes,
whatever.
yes.
That's where Bobby and I sealed the deal right there.
Okay.
You're not
It
gonna
was
say
So
it
that's
was
where you fell in
that's
love.
where you found love and never
Uh-huh.
left me alone ever since
there
that.
you go. Well, they hired me for a thing. I did a Latin night. I would teach salsa dance. I've been dancing since I was a little
What?
kid.
Teach me.
Yeah, all day, every day.
Oh,
Yeah, and I have a lot of
nice.
patience. So I can teach a lot of people.
Wow.
Okay.
But
Okay.
I used to dance when I was little, and I grew up and I was on stage. So things you don't know about me. I've been in theater and television for a long, long time. My first role was Baby Jesus.
Oh shit.
It was like we were at church, or my parents told me they were at church, and the priest was like, "Oh, we need a baby for the play." And I'm like, "Oh, we just had this guy." And so I guess I was just quiet, and they're like, "Oh, he's great." And that was my first.
Aw.
That was my first step. And then since then, I mean, I've been in so many things. Um, Most notably, you can find pictures of me on the Aladdin show in Downtown Disney, and just a lot of stuff.
So you've been in the public eye for a minute then. Huh?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. And then I've danced forever and ever. And my strength is in salsa dancing, but I can pretty much pick up choreography. Like I remember at Zelda's, they were like, "Oh, we need a salsa dancer," and I was there, and I met DJ LF and a few other friends that I've had for the time I've been here. David Mariner, and he now owns DJs in Cat City and
Hmm.
other stuff. Like I just got to meet a lot of cool people, and I remember when the place closed, it was just like
Mm.
there's a lot of stories behind it, but it closed. And later on, the McCormicks just disappeared. They left the valley, and I didn't know why. And then one day, somebody said, two years ago, I think somebody's like, "Hey, did you hear Copas is reopening?" I was like, "Oh,
Oh.
cool, that's great. Like, you know who's the manager now?" I said, "No." And they're like, "Cody McCormick." It's
Oh.
like, "Shut
You're like
up."
my man.
Cody McCormick, done. I went and I recorded this episode called "What's a McCormick" with Cody McCormick.
Wow.
And it was the first time I wanted to. There's a few things I've been wanting to do with the podcast show. I wanted to bring it to people so that they can experience how fun it is, because I think it's
Right.
fun. And I wanted people to be a chance to know that they can be on it no matter who they are. And so I was like, let me create the new mindset experience. The new mindset experience is just me taking the podcast and putting it in a club setting. And
Mhm.
basically, what it is every hour something happens. I hate when you go to the club, especially when I was younger. I hated going to the club, and all you're just stuck with the same little group of people, and not every night, but sometimes it's just kind of stayed. It's just like
But stale,
very
got stale, huh?
right?
Yeah.
So you're just like, it's just like, oh, man, I'm wasting money on drinks, but I'm just standing, or like everybody started dancing because it's too groupy. Like it's just nothing's going on. So with the new mindset experience, I brought tequila dame mas. I brought whatever other sponsors was box and all my other sponsors together. And if you walked in that day to Copa,
Yeah.
I invited as many friends. I thought I invited like maybe 1,000 people. Well, 300 showed up. And when it comes to the club, 300 is a lot of people.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
So as they're walking in, the first thing is they get a free shot the moment they walk in. Tequila Mamas is a high premium tequila.
Boom.
They gave us like 6 bottles, and we went through all the bottles and then one extra.
Yeah.
And it was just tastings. So it was just people getting just tastings of the tequila. So remember, you're walking in, you're already getting a free tequila shot. If you signed up online with your QR code, we did it so that you could quick scan. So instead of you having to fill out all your info, you just scan, place the ticket based on the basic information on your scan,
Smart.
and then we retain the email, and then you can come in and you get a free drink at the bar. So we had almost 300 emails, just stuff of that.
Wow.
And then on the first hour, we had a big robot come out and just try to dance with people.
Where do you get a big robot from?
That's crazy. Yeah,
I need his number.
It
Where
took
do
me
you need a
forever
robot?
to figure that out. You get him from LA, and she was great. She just dressed up and like just did her thing. And then the next hour, I passed out. Well, I had the team pass out light batons. So everybody had light batons. I was there. By
Yeah.
the next hour, I was like, hey, everybody's getting gifts, and then boom, we started people gifts, just random gifts.
Wow.
And then
That's awesome.
the very last hour, we just let all the foam and fog, and the
Oh my
music just had a live. We had like a live version of a Carol G or something like that,
Uh-huh.
and it would just carry the night. And then there was like 1:30 in the morning. People wanted to keep going, and it's like they sold out pretty much half of the reserve. It was great. It was a great party. And we thought, wow, we could do this. We can do the new mindset experience. I didn't think
Mhm.
people would even care. And it was just like that led to a few other iterations of that. And it was really great. And they only come back in the summer. I only do one now. And it's invite only, because it's really hard when I do like a massive invitation, and then we have like 800 people show up, and there's places that like
Yeah.
the venues have to turn them away and they don't like that.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like now it's just private invites. So if you're invited to those, if you get a chance to experience the new mindset experience, and you guys are invited to the next one,
All right.
Okay,
I was gonna
please
say,
please do.
You
look for
heard
my
it here.
ticket. Look
Yes.
for my ticket.
So if you guys, I'll see something on an email, or you might just get like a special invite on social media, and come check it out. And you guys can share it all you want. You can tell stories. The only rule I have is we cannot post the night of. We have to post the next day.
Yeah.
So we want people to talk about it in a way like, oh, you're not gonna believe what happened last night. That's how my story started.
Right.
So I have a question. So
Mhm.
did anything happen at the Copa that happened at Zelda's? No stripper poles there?
Okay, so
That's all I care about. God
that's
damn it.
funny. No.
No, okay.
I think the thing that happened at Copa was great, and it would have been up to the level what Celos used to be.
Yeah.
But the owner that was there then kind of didn't see the value of it, and he just let it go. So we ended up going to other venues that appreciated it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Burn to you, sir.
Well, I mean, it seems like the show's gone through a bunch of iterations and little, side projects and led to a lot of things. Now, though, you kind of, you said when you started it, you envisioned it being a TV show, and here we are, 2026, and
That's
you are
crazy.
now
That's
a TV show, man. So tell us a little story behind that and
Mhm.
how that kind of happened, because I mean that's not an everyday thing. Just a single person podcast turning into
I know, it's crazy.
NBC show. So there's got to be a good story behind that.
So I was working in a political office. They last year and through 2020, the end of 24 and 25, I was a dignitary under the Office of Assemblyman Jeff Gonzalez. He is in charge of District 36, which incorporates the Coachella Valley with Indio, Coachella Thermal, and it continues going down to the border of Mexico, but it also goes all the way to the borders of Phoenix, in Arizona, and Nevada, and then it goes to the opposite side as well, all the way to Marietta. And so the state assembly is just one level below the Senate, and then you have Congress. So being able to work under Jeff Gonzalez's office was just amazing for well, first of all, for the network because it grew it exponentially, and secondly for the people that I was able to serve because it was the community that we live under. So I didn't get to just sit there and kind of twiddle my thumbs. Like I got to really be out in the community and
Get in the
create a type of
trenches.
service
Yeah.
and like hey, there's a real issue that we can actually fix with legislation. Like it was great, and I knew I always wanted to be in politics, but I didn't know I was going to be good in it. I was in it as much as I could, and I couldn't, and it was great to be there, and it was good. Even today, I have great memories of it, and I mean, I can sit here. And maybe people won't know the names, but I could call Glenn Miller, who was the mayor of Indio, or Oscar Ortiz, who's running for his own seat of assembly,
Yeah.
or a few other people that in that can actually solve real world issues. And I mean, I'm not gonna call them to be like, hey, I got stuck in the car, like I'm probably gonna be like, hey, there's like an issue going on. Maybe you should keep an eye out, and
Right.
this is what it is. And they take action on some things, and it's just like cool to know that you're able to still have that connection to the community and the community leaders. And so what happened is, you get to meet a lot of TV people because they're always
Yeah.
wanting
Yeah.
to interview you. They're
They're
always
kind of
wanting
tied
to
together, local government, TV,
100%.
Of
TV,
course,
And
local TV.
the
Yeah.
rule as a representative of somebody that's in power is like you don't really talk to the media.
Mm.
You just it was always like no comment, or you can reach out to our chief of staff, Ashley Yanis, who's the chief of staff today, I believe, and um, they'll give you the answers you're looking for. So it was a lot of just network in the sense of like I can't talk to you, but how you doing? Like how's everything else? And I have the personality of just like I guess I think I'm just a little bit more welcoming.
Yeah.
I'm always open to conversation, and I don't care who you are across the way. I want to get to know you, and it's just always been like that for me. And I met Rosemary, who's one of my producers now. Rosemary has been working with NBC for years, and we've kind of had in and out relationship where like I've seen her and I don't see her for a while, and I see her again, and we just kind of meet up, and she's great, and love her to death. She's amazing. She owns Samora Ranch, and um, one day I was like, hey, I want to start a TV show. I have a podcast. I want you to listen to it and tell me what you think. If it's shit, tell me it's shit. If it's good, tell me it's
Yeah.
good. Like I
Mhm.
want to move forward with it. I used to work with a bunch of different people that had it, and I've been working under them. Like I'm done with that. I don't need that anymore. I
It's time
forget
to
it.
time to
It's time
grow.
for me
Yeah.
to just do my thing and grow it. Um, and she was like, she was the only person I've ever met that said yes. And every time I have a crazier idea, she just says yes.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
And
And
that's what you need.
I'll share with you guys some of the projects that I've been thinking that she's like behind because some of them are really crazy. And I love to hear what your audience thinks. Maybe we can do a poll or something. But so to wrap up that first part, yes, that's how I got it. I talked to the right person. I
Mhm.
had all the contacts. And the reason they give me a green light is because I don't just have the little contacts in the valley. I can
Right.
get broader contacts. I can get maybe I could get a here's a cool story. I got to share a moment with the assemblyman where he went to enjoy the Dodgers when they won the World Series, and there was
Mhm.
so much in between that the contacts were able to be shared, and so like we can reach out to anybody like
Right.
Otani. Now we have NBC, so now there's no limits. I
Yeah.
can literally call any agent and get that person in my seat. but I want to focus on you guys, on you, the person, on you, the
Coachella
people
Valley.
in the Coachella Valley
Yeah.
that are listening that want to sit through an episode and tell the story. I want to focus on that. Can I get the big name? Sure,
Right.
but that's not my goal.
Right.
That's never been my goal. That being said, I had some projects, and I'll share with you guys one of them. That's a
Awesome.
really. This is the first time some people are gonna hear about it, so I don't know how they're gonna feel. I love Netflix. I love Love Is Blind. I think I shared with you guys that story. Love Is Blind is a show that I cannot get over. The first time I saw it, I thought it was stupid, and then I was like, okay, I get it. I got it.
This is
So
real.
I was sitting at NBC. We're going over the notes of the last episode, and I'm just kind of there sitting and all quiet, and I have this weird smile, and Rosemary's like, "What?" I'm like, "Okay, dude, check it out.
Listen
What
up.
if?" I'll tell you guys how I told her. What if we got local influencers in the Valley or people that Valley people know,
Right.
male and female, and just kind of pit them against each other in that sense of like Love Is Blind type.
Mm-hmm.
But instead of them just talking to each other, it's like there's a voice changer somehow because they're all gonna know each other because we all live here. Everybody that lives in the Valley knows
Small
everybody.
town.
So
Yeah.
imagine, for example, I'm gonna tell you just the two guys I thought of just right off the bat. Daniel Caceres is the owner of Don Victor Jewelers. A
Okay.
lot of people know Don Victor Jewelers, especially in the east side of the valley.
Mhm.
And then Beto from Alberto Zapaterias. Everybody knows Alberto Zapaterias, where you can get all your local stuff. Imagine those two guys, right? They're both eligible bachelors that are well known because they have their commercials everywhere. You could like, even if you've never heard of Don Victor Jewelers, you've seen the guy that goes, "Hey, look at these chains." Like, trust me, you've seen him. You just don't know his name. So imagine those two guys in one side, and on the other side, you have like a Bianca Ramirez, a good friend of mine, and she's just a local big name influencer, and then Aurelia, I don't remember her name. And it's just all these two local girl influencers, and then just trying to figure out whether or not they like each other. I think people would watch it, local people would watch it
Yeah.
and be like, "No way!" That was like,
Oh my
"What?
gosh.
Like, how is this not happening?" Why, you know? And then
And the next thing you know,
people
they're
that
taking
don't-
fair pictures.
and
Right?
you know, and then people that don't know would watch it just because of how
It's
much drama
interesting.
this Coachella
Mhm.
Valley could be.
Yeah.
I think.
The
And
cheese
so
man
it's
would
one
be
of
off
those
the
where
hook.
like the locals will love it because it's local people, but the people outside just like to watch this type of shows. I mean, I don't know the people on Love Is Blind, but I still
Right,
watch
right.
it,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
It's like,
Right.
and then you throw in the fact that we got to keep it all Coachella, so no matter where they go, you know, something always happens. Like you go somewhere and you're like, wasn't that person with this person? And it's just like,
Yeah.
Hey, and then
Dude.
the next episode is they get married and you videotape it right there and they're on your podcast, right?
Look, the point of that show is they
Possibilities are
get to the
endless.
point where you get married and you do the whole wedding and they can say no.
Jeez.
Okay, see what I mean? That's the
Wow.
show I want to do.
Damn
That's
it.
So
freaking
they could be like,
hardcore,
okay,
man.
yes or no. They could be like, look, I don't think so.
And they could take the freaking flowers and they'll
Wow.
Like,
You know, and
That's
so
harsh,
that's
man.
my show. And so in thinking about it, I'm like, okay, well, I gotta get a married couple to host it.
Oh
I
God.
need to like shoot a whole thing. And then when I was pitching it to NBC, they were like, that's fucking genius. So I was like, I'm just rehashing something that exists, right? So that's one. The other one that I really am interested in hearing what your people have to say about it, or anybody in general. So I'll ask you guys what you think about this one.
Sure.
I recently, I'm from LA, and I'm very used to electoral debates because it's just something that happens. And not a lot of people watch it, but some people do.
Say that again. You were real used to what?
I'm used to electoral
Oh,
debates.
okay, got
So
it.
right
Yeah.
when you have like
Local politicians.
or
Okay.
nationwide politicians kind of go up against each other in debate. And so I noticed, I went back a few years and I've never seen one here in the Coachella Valley. Like they go into interviews and they ask them a few questions, but
Right.
like it's just a little tiny segment. There's not a dedicated time
Yeah,
to it.
yeah.
And so it's like, okay, I know all these people. I know everybody raising against everybody. I know who's going up against who. And they're local people. Whether you have had a chance to meet, you know, Oscar Ortiz or Assemblyman Gonzalez, they're people that are here.
Right.
They are, you know, gonna go up against each other and you're gonna see it no matter what. Steve Sanchez and Manny Perez is another one. They're both
Yeah.
running for supervisor. And it's tough because some of the TV personalities that maybe have called them out are just too strong a personality. So it's like, you know, if I do it with this person, it's just gonna be like,
A bloodbath.
you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I know all these people personally, and it's more neutral. I was on the same back end of the curtain, so I totally understand what to ask and what not to ask.
Right.
And so I pitched to NBC, I want to do debates. I
Mhm.
want to do the mindset brings debates or fight
Yeah.
color,
Yep.
whatever it's going to be called, and just let them talk about what they're going to change and not why he's better than him. Like, sure, there's differences, but I want to hear how you're going to benefit the community, not how you're going to benefit yourself, which is a problem with most politicians. And so, a question, for example, is, hey, the cost of gas is going to go up or down regardless of what you do. How can we
Mhm.
keep the cost of living at its rate throughout the
Mhm.
9 cities? Because some
Start
people are
walking.
leaving because they're not.
Start
Yeah.
walking. Get on your bike.
You know, what policies can you, what options do we have with
Yeah.
you? And like, it's just real questions that I know because I was on the back end, like I said, back in the career.
Yeah.
So I know what to ask to get to get their answer out.
Right.
And it's not about how come you didn't fire this person when you were supposed to instead of now. Like, that's
Right.
not
You're not going
the
for the sound.
conversation.
You're not going for the sound clips. You
I
want
don't
actual.
need.
You want actual
I
answers
don't care
and
for the
debate,
ratings.
right?
I'm starting. My show's already going. I don't need higher ratings. I don't need to make a point. I don't need to make myself the top of nothing. I want them to shine. I want them to go in, shake their hand, and be able to leave shaking their hands.
That's
Talk about
Right.
policy.
yeah.
Talk about how you're going to change the valley. Don't tell me how you're going to change it because you're going to bring all the. Like, there's things you can't do. You're not going to be able to get. You can't get eyes out of here.
No.
You can't. It's just a fact. Don't tell me what you want me to hear. Tell me how you're going to do things that will help.
Yeah.
And then it's not just based on my thoughts. We went to um, local community leaders, church leaders, community advocates,
Yeah.
our senior centers, and we surveyed to see what type of questions they would like to hear. And some of them, I gotta admit, they're not great. There's some questions like, how come there's
Right.
holes along the road? It's like you
Potholes that
can't.
need to be
There's
fixed on the
things that you
street.
just
Yeah.
can't. But the really good questions like, hey, my roof, fixing my roof was like $800, but now I put solar panels, and they tell me it's like $10,000. Like, what's the what's the reason this has to be this
Right.
way? Like,
Right.
there are little things, and that's like, okay, that's a good question. There's things people really came up with great questions. So I'm planning on that. I'm looking forward to that. But I ask you guys, how would you feel watching that? What do you think about it?
Well, I'm a political.
Oh my
I'm a
God.
political nerd behind the scenes. I was a poli sci major in college, so I
Mhm.
don't. I don't voice my opinions too much, just to keep everything neutral. But I think it's needed in this community because I think a lot of our politicians, we have some good local politicians. They don't really get a chance to shine. And it's because they don't really have opportunities. I think if you go to LA, you go to like Sacramento, there's a lot more polished, like and you know who these guys are because they've been in front of the camera and been asked those tough questions. I think our politicians don't really get put in that situation to really shine. So I think it's something that really is kind of needed. We need to see them under pressure a little bit. That's what you want. You want your good politician's a guy who can make decisions under distress, and has to make the
Correct.
tough. He has to make the tough decisions. When the fire's going, he has to be the fireman putting out the fire, right? So we need to put them under pressure before we elect them. So I think a debate situation where we're asking real questions would be a start.
Appreciate
What do you think?
I mean, I think I want to hear their story, right? And then not just little snippets of interviews like you were talking about in the news, like delve deeper.
Yeah.
Here we go, and just kind of, where's he coming from, and why did he come up with that, and why wouldn't that work for you, or that kind of thing. Just kind of hear if they even have some common ground, which I'm sure they do,
Right.
right? But yeah, I think it's great because it's just there's nothing going on like that
Yeah,
around
it's
here.
needed. It's
Yeah.
needed.
I would like to think so, and I would like to think that knowing everyone and behind the scenes and all the local politicians, there's a thread that connects them all, and it's real. It's very real.
Oh,
It can be
sure.
in different. They can be in different sides of the aisle, but if it works, it's something that Jeff Gonzalez says all the time. If it works for the Coachella Valley, it should work for California. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's we got to focus on the things that work for the community, and
Mhm.
and he's not the only one that says it. A lot of people say it, but he's good at what he does. And again, his opponent this time is Oscar Ortiz, and Oscar's about I want to make sure I'm helping the community. If it helps, it's almost the same message, and it's just different ways how they each think they can do it, and it's like, let's put that out there. Let's just hear it. I mean, it's just
I,
you.
I think I would. One of the questions that I would like to hear is, okay, you've been doing this for this long, right? So they have this much experience, and you're a little wet behind the ears.
Uh huh. Uh huh.
So
Uh-huh.
how do you take your newness and match it up with somebody
The
who's really
experience.
well seasoned, like
It's
you
a
thought?
great question.
Hey, thanks.
Let's add it to
Yeah.
the list. You heard it here first.
Right? No, but
Yeah.
seriously, it's
Yeah.
like, somebody that's been starting a podcast versus
Right.
somebody like you. How do you even like compete, or how do you even compare the two, right?
Right.
Wow, that's a really good question
So
I never thought of. That's great.
See,
thank
We're
you.
gonna have you part of the next round
Oh,
of
I would
the
be
debate.
community
Oh, yeah.
I'd
leaders.
be
Like,
I'd be
bring
mad.
it.
I
Bring it.
told you we need to have them all have tequila, and then the truth
Oh
comes out.
gosh, here we go.
Oh yeah,
There
I
we go.
never said no to that invitation.
buzzball,
It's my
buzzball.
Buzzball's
Oh,
the other
buzzball.
one. So close. So close. It happens all the time.
Okay, good.
But yeah, guys,
Oh,
those are my
man.
2 projects. So when you're ready to be the host
Oh,
of our
gosh.
show.
Yeah, I think I'm too
I'll-
old.
I'll
I'm too
do
old to
it.
do that.
Ah, there you go.
I'll do it.
You know, I'll do it.
There you go.
So any other special thing? I know you got all kinds of stuff behind the scenes going on. What other stuff can you share with our audience? I know you got some
Come on.
others. I know he's got some other
I
projects cooking.
So there are so many. I'm also working as the community outreach coordinator for Desert Rodeo. Desert Rodeo, you
Yeah.
Oh,
guys.
those are our friends.
Oh,
We
so
had them on
David-
the show.
Yeah,
Dave and
Eisen is
Sherry.
amazing,
Yeah.
and Terry,
Terry.
Carrie are amazing. I joined their team recently. So last year when they first started,
Mhm.
David was kind of just doing it on his own, and
Wow.
today, well, I met them at the ribbon cutting, and I was so impressed by all the work they've done. I mean, I've seen the land that they built it on
Mhm.
Oh
from
yeah.
scratch, and to see it built, I mean, I'm telling you, I was there at the ribbon cutting, I couldn't believe it. And I told David, like, dude, I mean, I can't believe what you did with this place. It's insane. And so every chance that I could, I would post them, repost them, tag them, add them on our social media, and just make sure that the assemblyman was there present the day of. We brought Chad Bianco with us one day. I mean, we all were just there enjoying the rodeo and making sure that everybody was having a good time. And I became like a really good advocate for them without knowing that. So a
Mhm.
lot of people would show up and say, "Oh yeah, I saw Jose's thing," and the mindset was talking about it. And then I think he recognized that potential, and then he approached me when I was not in the office with Jeff anymore, and he said, "Hey, now that you're free, do you mind helping us out?" And I was like, "Yeah." So it's been, I was with him since September. It's been months and months and months of just working, planning, and getting together. And David is amazing at what he does.
Yeah.
And every time that we get a chance, we'll sit and just talk. And he's starting to try to speak Spanish to me, which I don't understand. And I love and appreciate him for that. And we
Hey, he's
both
trying,
have
man. He's trying.
this energy with each other that like we're always continuously continue to grow. And I opened the door for him in a lot of stuff. And the projects that are coming from that, I'm very happy that he was able to do it. I think if he did it on his own, he still would have been able to do it. I think it would have taken him 2 years to get there. I think I shortened the 2 years to like a few weeks worth of work.
Mm.
And I think that is the part of the network that I was telling you guys about, because I'm able to call all these people, and I've always kept it very neutral. I'm never
Sure.
trying to, get somebody's place instead of that other place. And so I very, very, very much approach everything with like this nuance of it's just to work and collaborate. Are you okay? Nobody.
Well,
Mhm.
when we had them on the show, because I worked with his mom.
Really?
Yeah. So she was my accountant for a long time.
I'm gonna call David right now.
Yeah, and so they had talked to us about this, desert rodeo coming out, and when they came in here, and I was like, "What the hell? I don't even know what."
First year, yeah.
Yeah, like tell me
New
what
events.
tell me what buckle something, or they were naming all these things. I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know what that means. Desert people, we don't know what that means. Like,
Mm-hmm.
like seriously, teach
Yeah.
us. So
Wow.
they did, and then he was like, "Well, come to the show," and I had
Yeah,
a
we
blast.
went. We went. It was awesome.
You guys
Yeah.
went. You
We
guys
went
went to
last
the
year,
rodeo.
yeah.
What?
We
What?
went
Do
last
you
year.
remember what day you went? Like Friday, Saturday, or Sunday?
The
Sunday,
first,
I think maybe.
the first day.
I don't know,
So
but
maybe
I
Friday,
bought some
okay.
nice
Right.
jewelry there and
Okay.
clothes.
Yeah.
And that's where I go.
So you guys got to see the whole spectacle.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The bull riding and
Oh,
everything.
kids, you
yeah.
guys. Okay.
It was awesome.
I'm gonna
man.
share this
Dangerous.
story.
I was
I'm gonna
like,
share this one
Jesus.
story. You guys saw the flag as it
Yes.
comes out.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so one of those first days, I was there with Jeff. It was like I think a Saturday maybe. I'm there with Jeff. There's a few other of us were just sitting in the booth, and David comes out of nowhere, just cowboy hat and a little scout, and he's like, "Jose, quick favor. Do you think you and Jeff would catch a flag?" And I was like, "We could catch a flag." Like, all right, cool. If you guys could just go stand over there with the sheriffs, they'll tell you what to do. I was like, all right, cool. So we go stand. There's Austin Watts from the Chamber of Commerce, Greater Coachella Valley Chamber of Commerce, and he's there with us, and we're just looking at each other like, what's happening?
Yeah.
And as this guy comes out of nowhere, he's like, "Okay, guys, we're gonna catch a flag today. It's a pretty big flag, so there's a few rules. When you see the pendulum swing, don't be in its way because that thing weighs like a ton.
Knock you out,
And
man.
if it touches,
Yeah.
if you think it's gonna touch you, it's gonna destroy and obliterate your cranium. So do not stand in the way of it.
Whoa.
And then when the flag, we cannot let it touch the ground. So we all gonna run
Oh
in.
my
We're gonna
God.
grab it. We're gonna pull
The
back as
pressure,
hard as we
man.
can. And it's like,
What I sign up for?
wait, what? And then Jeff is a Marine, and so he was like, all right. So did you hear that? If we, you're the assemblyman. Yeah, I think you can do this, man. And he's
Yo,
like,
don't you give out helmets?
yeah. Jeff's like, it's a fucking flag. What do you mean? I was like, oh, okay. A Marine's a Marine.
Yeah.
So they're like, okay, let's line up. So we line up, and I have David in front of me. Then it's me. That's whoever's behind me. I'm wearing just a little hat and glasses. And so as we're walking out, the voiceover, the announcer goes, and today's our service day. Remember, we want to thank all of our servicemen and women. And as we're walking, I think people thought, I mean, of course, Jeff and a few other people, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But I think people thought that we're all,
ex-Marines.
and I'm walking, I'm walking with shaking my head like, no, I'm not. I never served. Please don't. And as we're walking, I hear people on the stands like, oh, is that Jose? What the fuck? I'm like, no, dude. So we're walking. I'm standing there. I just happened to stand. I was giving my back to, the older people, and we look up and oh man, the flag's coming, and like, whoa, it looks really cool. And the way it's falling, and I'm like, wow, it's getting like pretty big. That's wild. And then at the last second, I saw the pendulum.
The pendulum.
Oh my God, it's huge. That thing's huge. And you could see it on video, I think. I'll find it and send it to you guys. But it swings. And I'm looking at it and it's coming. And I'm like, oh, that's weird. And then I see David move and I'm like, oh crap. And I like
jumped out of the way.
Back out. And you just see it go. I was so focused on it. And I kept looking that I didn't realize everybody ran towards the flag. And you see me go. And we all grab the flag and we pull back and it's backwards.
Oh.
They were like, oh crap. And they're singing and we all look at each other and Jeff goes.
Yeah.
So we all really quickly will go in. Swap. Somehow we got it. And then once we had it, somebody had to reel into the SA and wave it. And we're like, but it's huge.
It's
so
heavy.
one little wave.
And
then the air caught underneath it. And then it was just really. So you see some of us just holding it down. And I thought I was going to be cowboy because there was somebody yelling at me. And I was like, oh, dude, it was insane. It was insane. But it was one of the best moments of my life.
That's awesome.
I'll never relive that, I don't think. And if I do, it'll never be the same. And I appreciate that. And every moment that I've had like that, I have crazy stories because of how I remember them, I think.
Oh, for sure.
And that's just one of those where, like, when we're done, I was like, let's celebrate the American way with a tequila shot. And let's just forget about it.
And a rodeo.
And a rodeo. It was amazing.
Right.
So you guys get to experience it 24, 25, and 26.
Yep.
And we're going to be doing a partner. Do you guys have a partner giveaway with them?
No.
We're going to have a collab giveaway.
Okay.
We're going to give away people free tickets for their Midway.
Oh, yeah.
And we'll start that soon. And we'll make sure to collab with CB Hustle to do that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
We love it, man. Happen. We love it, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we're kind of running up against time. We could talk to you for hours, man. But our producer cuts us off at some point. So we always like to ask our entrepreneurs or our guests, what advice would you have for somebody that, hey, I want to start a podcast, be like Jose, and then I want to take it to the next level and get to that TV, TV level. What would your advice be to that person?
Be approachable and learn. Don't stop learning because you can't. There's always a point that you reach where you're like, I know everything I need to know. Everybody reaches that point. And then somebody will come in and say, hey, if you just did this way. And it's like, you just shut it off because they don't know what you know. And I've had to learn the hard way. Like, sometimes maybe not everything's going to work, but trying some things out could and just continue to learn. I didn't want to try lapel mics because I thought they looked stupid. And now it's the tool that I have that I use the most. And it was someone's idea that I just took for granted one day and then took it for real one day the next. But just be very approachable and be open to conversation because people are going to ask you some hard questions. Some people are not. Nobody is ever wanting to just talk to you, but at the very least, you are talking to them. And so you can grow your network, which will connect you to the rest of the valley. If we throw a water bottle right now out the door, we hit someone, we're going to know that person through their cousin, niece, nephew, or someone else. And we're just going to know who they are. So if you can just be a person that's approachable, that has a good energy and morality behind it, people are going to remember aspects of you. One of them should always be man, I sat and talked with them, and I could talk with them for hours. Or I sat and talked with them,
Right.
and you know, I could hang out with that guy, or I could talk to him about any topic. I mean, you just want to be the person that people want to talk to, conversate with, because that's your whole network.
Right.
There's beats and pats for everything, but I feel like if you have a chance to get started on your love passion project, try to start it at $0 and get as far as you can on $0 before you put a penny in. But be approachable, be mindful of that you have to learn, that you don't know everything, and don't hit that ceiling so fast. Just let it happen slowly. Don't rush. It's gonna be okay. You can get through it, get through the first few episodes, really take a second to breathe, and then you're gonna find your niche.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yes.
I love that. That's great.
Good advice, people. Good advice. So if people have been living under the rock and don't know where to find you, maybe haven't seen your show yet, where can they check you out? Check out the show. Where's a good place to look for you?
So our show on NBC is on air Saturdays at 3:30 p.m. On channel 36 on cable, and then you can find us on any streaming, that's Peacock, Roku, Paramount. Can't remember all of them. There's a lot. Spotify. You also find us on NBC Palm Springs. So we're nationwide. Now you'll be able to find starting mid-April our streaming service. So make sure you guys are looking out for that. But you can also find us on the New Mindset OTCB.net or at the New Mindset OTCB across all of the digital platforms that everybody has.
Awesome. So you're not hard to find, man. There's a lot of different places.
Yes.
Well, Jose, you're a rising star in our community, man. We're happy to have you. We wanted to have you on for a long time. We're glad we can make this happen. We look for future success with you and many projects down the road, man.
Amazing. Thank you, guys. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure of mine, actually.
Thank you. I'm going to have you sign my microphone right now.
Yes,
Bam.
yes.
I need a lapel one.
That's right. That's right.
I love it.
Well, thanks for coming in.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
So you guys know the routine. If you found some value in that conversation, like, subscribe, and follow. And we'll see you next time on CV Hustle.
Only bread I break now comes with respect. Silk robe dragging on the marble floor. Breakfast in bed. Girl, bring me some more. Poached eggs with the truffle on the side. Mimosas flow